Well, I never thought I'd be saying this, guys, but welcome back to the title race. As you can see, since you were last with us with that Barnsley/Huddersfield game, we've had a pretty positive set of results, really. I mean, only lost once, drawn, lost once, drawn once, won the rest, and because of that decent run of results, this is where we find ourselves with 10 games to go, 8 points clear, 8 points clear of third in our inside automatic. I mean, who'd have thought that going into the season? Who'd have thought we'd have been in the title race? I know halfway through we were in there, and I thought we'd phase out, but we ain't going nowhere. We absolutely ain't going nowhere. Continuing to win, continuing to score. I mean, recently, for example, George Savile's been banging in some free kicks to win us a couple of games and winning us crucial points. I don't really know what's happening, but I'm certainly not complaining. Like I said, today we're coming back for the Sheffield United game, which turns out is probably going to be it's not going to be too crucial, but it could be a decider as to who's going to actually win the league, never mind get promoted. So we massively out of place. We're up there with Bournemouth and Forest and Brentford, Sheffield United. I mean, us and Bristol City are just up there chilling, without nobody noticing. Hopefully it stays that way for the rest of the season. As you can see on the bottom left-hand side, we have injuries to 4 first-team players, 4 potential starters in the league, 2 of which are both central midfielders. So at the moment, we're very, very light in that department. Considering we play 2, sometimes 3 players in there, we are very, very, very light. But we are managing so far, and like I said, going back to results very, very quickly. We've grinded out a few decent results, a few more clean sheets, and I think we're on for that record. So I thought this would be a good time to come back to a potential title decider just before we get into the last run of the season and see whether we manage to keep this lead or whether we can blow it right at the end. Hopefully not. Hopefully we spring a massive surprise, 2 promotions in a row. I mean, and then God knows what team we're going to have to put together to try and stay in the Premier League. If we get there, that is. But let's not wait any further. This is the team going into the game against Sheffield United away. Lumley in goal. Swanson on the left, since both of our left backs are currently injured. Gibson, Ragger in the middle. Paul now playing at right back, even though he plays mainly centre back these days. The only remaining midfielders we have left in Savile and Longstaff in the middle, even though they're doing a pretty good job, to be fair. The usual Mighton on the left, Corbino on the right. Obviously, I do rotate them with the other wild players we do have. And the untouchables in this team with Scala and Archer up top. Now, let's get straight into the game here. I mean, realistically, in this game, it's almost like, I'd say it's a freebie because, yes, I know we're in the title for the title, but realistically, as long as we stay above third, it doesn't really matter. And it's kind of a free hit because, let's be honest, we were not expecting to be in this position. I imagine Sheffield United were expecting to be up here and in and around here, but we absolutely not. So I can't say I'm expecting us to get a result today. Obviously, Sheffield United are up there for a reason with us. But it is nice to be in a situation where it's almost like a free hit. The result is not too detriment, depending on the Brentford game. So anything we can nick out of this, I'll be absolutely buzzing. There's a few early highlights as well. I think we've had... Oh, for God's sake. I mean... Oh, laughing. Get in. Get in. Straight down the middle. Keeper just stood there and saved it. I mean, I was just about to say... I know I'm expecting a result from this, but it doesn't mean we try and implode in the result as well. The team I'm worried about the most, I'll be honest with you guys, is Bristol City. I mean, I don't know where they've come from, but as you see, they're winning their game. They've just flew out of... Oh, I think they beat us the other day. And they're just coming out of absolutely nowhere and just winning consistent games. They're the team I'm worried about catching up to us at the moment. Never mind Brentford. Been a lot of highlights early on here. It's just a shame that every single one of those highlights have been for Sheffield United. Can we do anything with it? Can we get up the pitch? Oh, 2 strikers there. Can we make some... oh, we could just lose the ball before we even get out of our own half. That seems like a appropriate thing to do. Yeah, they're they're having us on here, aren't they? This is going to be a tough afternoon, I think, guys. I think this could be a very tough afternoon. I mean, the mistake equally comes from Swanson, doesn't he? I mean, that particular mistake comes from Swanson, and they just pick us off in our own half before I even get out of it, and then just could be the footballing in the goal. But we're not making it any better. We straight from kickoff, we lose it again, and now we've just lost it again in our own half. I mean, this could be it wouldn't be the first battering of the season either, but this could be an half of. You've got to be joking me. I know it's disallowed, but Jesus, what is going on, man? Like, I don't really want to do this. I feel like I'm copping out by doing this, but you need to just sit back a bit more because we're getting, especially in the middle, we're getting absolutely just. Oh, I mean, come on. I mean, what are the other results like? I mean, I expect Brentford will be winning theirs, yeah, and Bristol City are winning theirs. So that's not very good for us. I mean, Sheffield United helps. I mean, I know I said it's a free hit and stuff, but doesn't mean you make it easy. We're just too easy, man. It's too easy. What are you doing? I mean, there's no point going balance now, is there? I mean, there's no point going balance. Half an hour in, we've had multiple highlights, and we've only just had a single shot on target. I mean, I don't really know what we're playing. I don't know what's happened. We've been playing fantastic recently. I think this is just maybe the quality catching up with us in these games. Because you wouldn't think that we're in the title race with them the way this game's going, the way they're performing. You would not think we're in a title race with them. And they absolutely just. I mean, what are we doing? We're so lazy with the ball at the moment. I mean, every single time we're like losing it constantly, and I don't know why, because we don't normally do that. Maybe a bit more disciplined, and there we have it, guys. We're at half time, 2-0 down, a fully deserved 2-0 down, and it could have been much worse because they've had a penalty saved and the goal offside. We have been absolutely terrible in the first half. I think this is very much a case of them showing us why they're supposed to be there, and we're fluking it by being there. I mean, if you can call 36 games in a fluke, but I think they're showing why they're expected to be there, and we're somehow pulling this off. But it also shows what we've got ahead of us if we can pull off a second consecutive promotion. I think Swanson's a massive weak link. Obviously, having no left backs there, Swanson's come in and has made a few mistakes, and they just seem to be taking us out down there. I mean, I don't know who this Campana is, but he's just like, I mean, who is he? Because I feel like I should go and sign. If we get promoted, I want to sign him. I don't even know why, but he's good, isn't he? So he's already on my list, right? Okay. Well, guys, you've come back for essentially a massacre of our team today. It doesn't look like you're going to be seeing. Oh, come on! It doesn't look like you're going to be seeing any of the qualities of this team, other than our defensive frailties and the obvious gulf in class between the two teams. I really don't know what's gone on here. I feel like I'm just going to have to change the formation completely. Maybe that'll help. I don't suspect it will. But I ain't really got much else to go with, have I, really? I mean, I got to be honest, guys, this is rather a terrible, terrible game. I know Swanson's having a nightmare. Well, this is not the exciting game I thought we were. I thought it'd be a little bit closer than this. I can understand that Sheffield United were maybe not going to win, but This is something else. I mean, what doesn't help is Brentford are, what, 5 points behind us and a game in hand. So when we come back in the next episode, we have no idea what we're coming back to. Are we coming back to still being in the title race, or are we coming back to getting ready for the playoffs? I mean, I guess you'll see by the I guess to see what kind of episode we turn up on next. But I'll come back for a quick one just to get Sheffield United out of the way. Thought it'd be a nice, exciting title race, title game for us. But I think well and truly, Sheffield United have won that game and made their point. I suspect from this point on, I mean, we have clawed them back already before, so it's not like we wouldn't be able to do it again. But I suspect from this point on, they will go on to win this title race. I mean, the only benefit maybe is we get a few players back in the next couple of weeks in those positions, which means you don't have to worry about them because you don't have to play Sheffield United, obviously, every week, thank God. But we have got Bournemouth and Brentford in the title race right at the end. So if we aren't a couple of points clear by then, we could be in big trouble. For the automatics, of course, I think I mean, we really not. I sort of don't really know what to say, to be honest, guys. I don't really know what to say because I'm saying stuff and we're just imploding. I mean, we can't string passes together. I know it's a bit more direct now, so we're going a bit more lumpy, but we can't string passes together, and we haven't been this bad. If we'd been this bad all season, we wouldn't be in this position, really. Let's be honest here. Can we get a consolation goal? Can McAtee do? No, we can't. Well, looks like we just have to chalk this one up, dust ourselves down, and go again in the next game, and hopefully we can get back on to winning. I mean, it could be the fact that they've stepped off the gas, but we've started to play a bit towards the end of the game. Could be the switching formation as well, which in hindsight would be great. That I could have maybe switched that up going into the game rather than having the two up top, probably a bit more bodies in the midfield. But it's done now, isn't it? Well, there we have it, guys. A 4-0 defeat away at Sheffield United. And let's be honest, it was deserved. We showed absolutely nothing in that game. The 10 shots, after about the 60th minute, we did 2 shots in the entire game. So those 10 shots came well after they took us apart. That was way too easy. That Campana seems to be a hell of a baller, hell of a player. Our defence, makeshift defence, and Swanson on left back, who clearly couldn't cope all game, as you can see by his ratings. There we clearly had a nightmare, but they've absolutely played us off the park. I'd say this was a potential title decider, but Sheffield United just shown that we may not even be in the title race. They could just be doing this all by themselves. But looking at the league table, guys, this is the state of affairs where we leave it at the end of the episode. Obviously, we are still second with 5 points clear of third. Obviously, Brentford have that game in hand. If they win that game in hand, that drags it to 2 points, which is when it could get a little bit worrying. Obviously, 2 points is one result. One result from being out the automatic or in the automatics. So hopefully they don't win that result, but we'll still kill fighting. I think we are 12 points clear of Reading in 7th. So I'd like to hope we ain't got the ability to mess it up that much that we miss out on playoffs. I'd like to think playoffs are relatively secured. Don't hold me to that because I suspect it may come back at me if I over confident about that bit. But I think playoffs is secured, so at the very least we can look forward to a playoffs campaign at the end. But if not, if we can get this winning streak back going again, if we can see the last 9 games out, we'll find ourselves after only 2 seasons in the Premier League and panicking because none of these players, bearing in mind half of them are on loan, none of these players are good enough to play in the Premier League. And that means I'm going to have to potentially have a big squad change again for the 2nd season in a row. I mean, we're in the Premier League, we're absolutely laughing. I mean, and our aim to be the best team in the South Coast. I mean, we're taking out Bournemouth, another one there. on the way. So it's like 2 down, 2 to go. Very, very relatively quickly. But I suspect when we get to the Premier League, being able to overtake teams like Brighton, especially, is not going to be an easy task. I was going to skip past the Brentford game to see how that result turned out, but it turns out looks like that game is going to be a couple of weeks down the line, so I won't do that in the end. But guys, I do appreciate you coming out to this relatively short episode, guys. I do apologise that you've had to just watch us get absolutely battered there, but it's football. These things happen. All we can do is dust ourselves off. Maybe have a look at the tactics again to see out the rest of the season. I do appreciate you guys coming out watching the episode. You know, any support on the channel, any likes, comments, you know, any if you could share the video or share my channel, anything like that would be massively appreciated. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And guys, I'll be back for a promotion celebration. I'll be back for the playoffs.